Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcorian Guides, bringing my guide for Bayonetta on hard difficulty. Today we're doing the chapter called Prologue, pretty much chapter 0. This one is called the Vestibule, and the first thing I want to get out of the way is to prove that I'm playing it on hard. I want to do this for every single chapter, so this will pretty much be kind of a continuous thing here. I always do like chapter select first, and then we'll cut away into either the Gates of Hell, or go right into the game. So here I'm showing off all the stuff I pretty much bought beforehand via my normal playthrough. I played this on the PS3 version of it because my Wii U copy already beat hard mode on there, so I felt like I'll just play on PS3 instead. That way I could just go unlock hard mode in like one playthrough and then start off like you guys would be doing if you started hard mode. So I just wanted to get, pretty much down on everybody else's level. So this is the first part of the very first chapter, technically. Even though it's not called chapter 1, it's still the first chapter. There is another little prologue section before this, but you don't have to play it. The game already sets you into the prologue. You don't have to worry about doing that very first beginning training part that you don't die in or nothing. So that's the best part about Devil May Cry games, or at least Bayonetta in that sense, is you could just easily get away with stuff. So I don't know if I actually have the attack yet, but there's one very, very important technique that I recommend you buy, and that's going to be the damage crow. So whenever you are about to take damage, if you dodge at the right time, you will take the damage for it, but it will actually, come back. You know what I'm saying? You'll get hit, but the health will come back. So it's like it basically neglects the attack. Right there. So it considers the fact that you got hit, but you did the crow just in time, so it pretty much just completely neglects the attack in general, and you get a witch time with it. So on hard mode, you have witch time active, which is nice, and on infinite climax, which I may or may never do, I don't know yet, we'll see. Listen to me now. I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, so I'm just gonna say right here, maybe. We'll see about what happens. I'll try, but no guarantees. Now on infinite climax mode, there is no witch time. So you're going to have to do this all pretty much like this with no witch time. And it's going to be pretty tough, I think. I've tried, and it's going to take some time to learn for sure, of course. There's a lot of stuff to buy in Bayonetta. Bayonetta has a lot of stuff going for it, and there's a lot of stuff to explain. Of course, as you can tell, I'm one of those kinds of fags that likes to dodge constantly. So you're going to be seeing me use the Panther ability a lot. Now, one big change from normal mode on hard mode on this particular level is you have to fight these two guys. I'm not 100% sure on all the names, so I'm probably just going to call them, I don't know, Fang Claws or something. Just make up some dumb gay name for them, so just take it into consideration. I don't know all the enemies here, but these are enemies that come up later on, in later half of the game, and they actually appear in the beginning of the first chapter. And these guys are going to be probably my biggest issue with beating hard mode, because these guys really tear my ass apart. And as you've seen right there, I almost clearly died. I do have other items on hand, and of course, you can always go back to normal mode. If you really wanted to grind up for more stuff, you totally can. I didn't. I just beat the game, just a normal playthrough. I missed a lot of, the afflims, or what are they called? The secret missions. I missed a lot of those. So I pretty much fucked a lot of that stuff up. On normal mode, you can typically get, rings and stuff out of this. But for some reason on hard mode, they decided not to give it to me. Most of these tombstones did not give me any rings, so I just took on and left without it. Now, this will not be a collectible guide. This is just, again, more of a hard mode guide on how to beat the game on the hardest difficulty. Well, this is, not the hardest difficulty setting. Infinite Climax is, for sure, as far as I'm considered. Or as far as I know it, it should be. So, this is pretty much hard difficulty. And this will just be a guide for that only. I'm not meaning to help anybody on Infinite Climaxes. You're pretty much on your own on that one. Sorry. Maybe one day. We'll see. Now, I want to go ahead and make mention real fast. I'm going to be using this weapon a lot in this game. I forgot what it's called. I think it's the Rikishi. I don't know. Regardless of what it's called, we'll call it the sword. So, I'm going to be using the sword a shit ton in this playthrough, only because of that really, really good charge attack that you can do. You can do it in both air and on the ground. It has 2 charges, and then you're done. For some reason, these guys, as much of a pain in the ass they are, they're not that tough, to be honest, only when they group up with 2 people. But usually when they're encased in fire like that, you can't damage them unless you shoot them. Like, you have to get witch time on them to actually do that. And for some reason, I could kill that guy just fine. I don't know if he was actually encased in actual fire, which he probably wasn't, to be honest. I was just being stupid. So this part right here is kind of a... This part almost got me killed. This was a very dangerous section. So luckily enough, I actually had an invincibility lollipop on. So I used the yellow, lollipop. And this gave me the invincibility that I needed long enough to last this entire mission. This part right here is just like a gimmick mission where it's going to be in constant witch time no matter what. And we're going to have to go ahead and... We're going to have to get torture attacks. So make sure you get these enemies down to the lowest bit of health that you totally can. And then get one good torture in and you should be fine. You only have to get 3 and you have like 5 minutes to do it. It's pretty tough. Especially when you have to fight these guys. I hate these clawed enemies. They really piss me off a lot. And that's the only thing you really have to worry about. If you can time your dodges correctly on hard mode, you should be fine. There's really nothing on hard mode that I would consider is like explicitly difficult. So this right here, this is pretty much what Infinite Climax is going to become. So if you were wondering how that's going to turn out, this is what Infinite Climax is without the obvious witch time. And even though we're in witch time right now, it doesn't matter because the enemies are not in witch time. So we are stuck having to fight these guys as if we could never activate witch time, and that's a pain in the ass. See right there, even though I got the torture attack on him, I didn't get the insta kill for it. And that's why I'm saying, like, make sure you get these guys down to the lowest bit of health that you can. I do not recommend I don't recommend like getting out of the way and doing a charged attack with your sword on these guys, only because they're so quick and nimble they can easily get to you. And my biggest recommendation is at least just get in, dodge out of the way, get in, dodge out of the way. Just keep doing like, a few attacks in and then get out of the way. Because these guys are just, they'll decimate you in any chance they can get. So keep your eyes peeled on these guys. They're relatively easy to dodge, but when they actually hit you, they hurt like fuck. So I just want to mention this is not going to be like a completely like super professional guide or by any means. I'm not like the best kind of guy to watch for a guide video. Like if you want straight like full-time help for this, like if you're really having a lot of trouble and I'm not good enough, just go watch somebody else. I recommend go and watch Seraphim17. He's a much better Bayonetta player than I am by a long shot. I'm just your normal average guy, just trying to make a guide video, trying to give tips and tricks that I know that worked for me, and that's pretty much it. Which, mostly, I'm a visual learner, so I usually just watch these. And if there's anything that's out of the way that's not completely visual, I'll let you know. Now, for every ending of the chapter, I'm going to show these off too, as well, just to give you guys a good record of my score. I got a silver, and I'm going to get fucked pretty hard. But in later missions, I won't. I actually do a little bit better. So, anyway, guys, without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Bayonetta on hard difficulty, and I'll see you all next time. So take care, everybody.